This way you can find this property, you can replicate the process. I'm going to type Harris County tax sale. And so this is a government auction, but the reason that it's going to auction is because the back taxes are not paid. So it's a tax deed auction. And just here's a little bit of a write-up from the county, just saying buyer beware. So they're not making any warranty about the condition or about what's going on.
Josh, can you let them know the disclaimer of the public information here?
Right, definitely. And so just for the YouTube algorithm, this is not sensitive data. This is all public record. This is public information. They post this at the courthouse. They post this on the property. And so, yeah, nothing here is sensitive or private. This is all public. So what I did is I just sorted this by a judged value. Want to see if there's anything outrageous that was going to be going to this auction. And here it is. This is the first thing that popped up. And so you can see how juicy this looks because the minimum bid is $66,000 and the judged value is 912. So, we're getting up to close to $1 million. And one of the things that I just want to point out really quickly is that at Harris County, there are different kinds of sales that happen at this government auction. And so it's not all tax sale property. It's not all tax deeds. And a lot of times with these high ticket, high value items, it's not actually a tax sale. But in this case, this is a true tax sale. The reason we can tell is it says type sale. So this is a tax sale. So they are behind on taxes, and that's why it's going to auction. Sometimes some of these say EOS, which means execution. This is not a tax sale, but it's at the tax sale auction. And so a lot of times, someone has got a property. In this case, it's worth close to $1 million. Maybe they have a loan on the property and the lien holder is actually foreclosing. So that could be an execution sale or it could be the HOA. But in this case, this is actually for the back taxes, which is pretty wild. We can see right here, it includes taxes from 2022 to 2024. So they've been delinquent for a few years. This isn't just 1 year of unpaid taxes. This is 2. Now, the interesting thing is that, when you buy property at a tax sale, you can't go inside. So you don't really know what the condition is like. But every now and then, you actually find a property listed on the market. And so when we take this property address and throw it into Google, you can see that there's a dental center there. You've got the doctor's name. There's some reviews, but it's actually for sale on LoopNet. So this is pretty wild because it's not every day that you can actually get to see the interior photos. You get to see what it's like. And there's a lot of information here. So it's currently occupied 30% already with the tenants in there. There's 2 separate structures. And this is the interesting thing about the tax sales is that generally these kinds of properties, because you do have to pay in cash, it limits the pool of buyers. And so we saw a property worth $6 million that sold for 3, so 50 cents on the dollar. So there's a very, very high likelihood that this property sells for 50 cents on the dollar or less. And so it's currently listed right now for $750,000, and it's been on the market since September of last year. And so if the opening bid is 66 grand and it's got an adjudged value of 912, to go and kind of meet the standard or the norm, it wouldn't sell really for more than $450,000. That would be the norm for these kinds of properties at the Harris County tax sale. So sells for $450,000, or less, and it's on the market for $750,000. And so this is pretty wild. And obviously it could sell for more or it could sell for less. It could go for $125,000. You never know. Maybe it's a holiday weekend and everybody's out partying and there's a low auction. Not many people show up. Stuff like this can sell, for 10 cents on the dollar, 30 cents on the dollar. And so just a wild opportunity. It is a legit tax sale. It's going to clear up the back taxes. It's going to wipe out everybody on title who has an interest. So if there's a mortgage, they're going to get wiped out. If there's lien holders, they're going to get wiped out. And you got photos here. You got some insider knowledge. See, do we have anything from the inside? No. So we don't have any photos on the interior, but we do have some information. We do see that there's the dental office inside. 30% leased. So a pretty wild deal. It's not every day you see $1 million commercial property going to auction in Houston with an open bid of 66 grand.
Very cool, very cool. All right, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I have a free gift for you for watching a free mini course called The ABCs of Tax Lien and Deed Investing. This is one of the best books on tax liens, and it is totally free as my gift to you for watching in the description below. It'll walk you through tax liens from start to finish, along with the directories with all 1,500 tax lien and deed counties put here so that you don't have to go and search around the internet to find them on your own. So the other thing I have is, if you already have this book and you want to do a deep dive, my team and I have found an auction with a whole bunch of properties worth 200 to 300 grand, opening bids of just 1,600 bucks. So if you want to deep dive and attend an auction with some help, you can also schedule a free call below and we can discuss helping you in this business. Regardless, thanks for watching. You can check things out in the description below and enjoy the videos. We'll see you soon.